We are repealing the so-called Born Alive statute, and we are repealing that because it is based on a fiction. The fiction that anybody is doing abortions and with pregnancies, later in pregnancies, and then that there are infants that are being born alive that are somehow then just being abandoned. That's just a fiction. It doesn't happen.
I cannot believe how evil could have such a calm voice.
Never happens.
Right. It never happens. We have abortionists on Twitter still saying that, right? These things don't happen. Children aren't born alive. And there's, a group of us saying, hi, look at us, hear us, see us. But instead, they simply fail to acknowledge that we exist because it goes against the narrative.
From both of your perspectives, when you have politicians in this country, leadership, if I could refer to it that way, that totally ignore your existence.
I think for me it has been shocking because to acknowledge that babies survive abortions and to acknowledge that we exist, they would have to go against everything that they have championed for so long. And so
that conversation for me was, she just kept gasping for breath. She just kept gasping for breath, and so I couldn't just leave her there to die. That was the words. Those were the words of the nurse who rushed me off to the NICU that day after I was left for a period of time, because they did demand that I be left in that hospital room to die. And that's where I should have been left to die. But by the grace of God, a nurse was willing to put her job on the line that day, rush me off to the NICU. My life should never have been left to the luck of the draw who was working that day.
Many Americans have no idea that babies can even live through abortions and are often left to die. But this does happen. I know this because I was born alive in an abortion clinic after being burned in my mother's womb for 18 hours.
And my mother eventually shared with me about the abortion. She also shared that she believed the scars I have on my chest and legs were from the abortion. I wish people knew that survivors of abortion exist. I wish they knew the outcome of abortion is not always death. It is often a live birth.
Hi, my name is Micaela, and I'm an abortion survivor. I was born in the Midwest at an abortion clinic on a migrant farm. It was believed that I was at the end of my second trimester, early third trimester, when the vacuum aspiration that was meant to take my life failed. I don't have a day of birth because of this.
My name is Amy Miles, and I live in Oregon. I was born in an abortion clinic in a college town. My medical records state a young woman came in for a therapeutic abortion and a viable infant was born. I was anywhere from 27 to 30 weeks gestation.
And ridiculous things like that. And that anybody was, waiting to the end of pregnancy and then saying, I don't want to give birth, give me an abortion. That just doesn't happen. And it's offensive. And so
that I was supposed to be dead by the doctor's hand. And I was alive.
A patient and 7 babies who were born alive and then killed.
They learned that in case after case, Dr. Gosnell and his assistants induced labor, forced the live birth of viable babies in the 6th, 7th, and 8th month of pregnancy, and then killed those babies by cutting into the back of their necks with scissors and severing their spinal cords.
Prosecutors said the 69-year-old doctor performed as many illegal late-term abortions as he could. Gosnell allegedly made millions of dollars over 30 years.
That's just a fiction. It doesn't happen.
Following being aborted, Jessica Jane was born alive and placed on a metal kidney dish in an empty room for approximately 80 minutes until she died. According to Nurse Williams, who delivered her, Jessica Jane, although premature, was apparently healthy, had no apparent abnormalities, and her vital signs were relatively good. She weighed 515 grams. When the doctor who authorised the abortion was informed of the live birth and the baby's AGPAS scores were strong, his only response was to say, "So?"
That's just a fiction. It doesn't happen. Everyone understands that people have feelings about abortion. Everyone does. And some people believe their feelings should dictate the actions of other people. That's just a fiction. It doesn't happen.